Hey everyone, Jengar here. Welcome to the 12th episode of Sub's Choice, the series where you decide what I fly out by leaving me your requested planes in the comments. Today we're flying out the F2H-2 Banshee requested by Steen Dokkendaal in the last episode. We're flying it out in arcade. I'll see you in the match. Hey guys, so here we are in the match. We are trying to get some altitude. Getting altitude and working from that altitude is one of the main strengths of this plane. It's very good as an energy fighter and a boom and zoomer. It has great energy retention and acceleration in a dive. And thus it can perform very well. Only compared to the higher tier jets it cannot compete with climbing. So you're always going to have the trouble that, for example, this Sabre here can get at higher altitude and MiG-17s, MiG-15s, stuff like that. Does outperform you in every way. Making the move on the Sabre here, as the firepower of the Banshee is fantastic. I really like those nose mounted 20mm, 4 of them in a row. It's a very centered firepower, and if you hit something that you aim at, it's gonna die in quick succession. So here I'm gonna try to take it up again, but I'm being tailed here, making a roll. The roll rate of this plane isn't the best, but it can do a job if you need to roll out of a stream of bullets. That Sabre that was trying to shoot at me got shot down by an ally of mine, and I get the opportunity to work from altitude as I am now the highest plane in the match. And this is the place you want to be with the Banshee. This is the situation that it can perform the best in, even with MiG-15s on the map. If you get this altitude and you are the highest plane, you don't have to compete for this altitude, you can work magic with this plane. From here it's great energy retention and it's great dive speed. Can even against these MiG-15s down here and the Sabres that you see, it can perform. You want to keep this plane in the vertical as much as you can. Don't start turn fighting with it. Turn fighting is something you don't want to do in this plane. It is not good at making sharp turns, and it loses a lot of speed when you do that. And speed is your friend in the Banshee. You want to keep your speed up. It retains the speed very nicely, and once you get the altitude and you get your speed, it is hard to lose it if you stay disciplined in what you are doing. So we missed that approach. It was a useless approach, but I transferred it back into altitude, and after that zoom climb I'm still at 660 speed, and we already reached 2500 meters again. Now we have a whole cluster of enemies here, and we're gonna look at who we can go for here. So putting the nose down, picking up some speed again, and I'm looking at the likely targets. The LA-15 on the left maybe. Now there's 2 props here that are after an ally. The 2 100 players here. We're in my team for a change, which is nice. And I get the Tiger Jet there, taking the plane straight back up after the kill. Do have a Sabre on my butt, but with some elevator and rudder moves I can avoid the bullets he shoots at me. Turning for a shot at him, but my allies kill him there. And I immediately point the nose up and try to get some altitude back. There's a B-57 coming in here, and I am thinking about going after him, but as he goes head on with that MiG-17, I decide to keep my nose pointed slightly upwards and keep climbing. There's a punter coming my way. I decide to dive. Here we can do. He's coming up, so this should be a nice shot here, and we do get him. MiG-9, we roll over, continue the dive, and we get the MiG-9 as well. Now we have some speed here. We've got 2 targets, so the LA-15 and the MiG-15 we saw a while ago are still alive. I decide to go after this MiG-15 here. But I missed my shots. To extend, don't turn with him. Very wise decision. We do get the LA-9 there. And we still have 860 speed as we are going to soon climb back up. Now this is the role this plane loves to perform. The plane that is not in the furball, not dogfighting, but fighting in the vertical, boom and zooming, energy fighting. That's what you want to do in this plane. And it's virtually untouchable when it gets to this point. Of course, with the current matchmaker, this plane does have a problem with getting the plane, the opposition it needs, it deserves. You always get the top tier jets in your matches, the Sabres and the MiG-15 Bisses. They will often be there. There's also MiG-17s in this battle. And of course this plane cannot compete with those planes. But once you get up to altitude, you can fulfill a good role with this plane, even with those matchups. As long as you get the highest position in the match. If not, you want to try to work around the edges, work as a support plane. Don't be the main plane in the heat of the fight, but work around the edges if you don't get to the high ground. Because of course you cannot win in a one-on-one against MiG-17, for example. And you also have a difficult job tailing better planes with higher speed than you. But like I said, the altitude compensates for a lot, and you can do a lot with this firepower. Here I make a vital mistake. I get greedy for this MiG-15, and I do start turn fighting with him here. And I am bleeding off a lot of speed. Got planes on three sides. I roll over to avoid the shots of this Sabre here, and I also avoid the MiG-15. But I have lost a lot of my speed. I'm in the 600, almost 700, and I've picked up a MiG-15 on my tail. And that's unfortunate because there is no way I can outrun him from this situation. Should have not turned with that other guy and of course tried to get my altitude back. To avoid his initial attack. And we are now in a rolling scissors. And if this pilot knows what he's doing, I will lose. There's another guy on my tail shooting at me. Tried to shoot at him there, but it didn't work out. Not getting a shot here, but I'm starting to notice that this MiG-15 pilot is not the best pilot. But there's another guy shooting me down here. 7 kills though before I got shot down, which is nice. Hey guys, second match. We got the worst matchmaker at the moment. A lot of MiG-15 Bisses in there. Although we've got a PBY there. That's not a bad target to start with. You know, give me those research points, that's fine. So we're gonna go for that first, and after that we're gonna dive down and see what we can do. Now here he comes. Now we did get the altitude, and you know, it's often surprising that you can get to be the highest plane with a plane that doesn't have the best climb rate. It's not bad at all, but compared to MiG-15 Bisses, this plane cannot compete with the climb rate on those things. And thus it is often surprising that not many more people climb. We've got a Cannon Sabre here, also a top tier jet. And as you see, this plane faces a problem when it meets this kind of matchmaking. I cannot keep up with this guy, even though that I came from altitude and he was already down on the deck. I cannot catch him unless he starts climbing. He's just pulling away from me, trying to get some shots in, some desperate shots, but it's not no use. There's no use tailing these high-end jets for me, because their top speed is so much higher than mine that he can just run away at his leisure. We've got an IL-28 here. I turn for that. He shoots down the guy behind him, the MiG-15, and he puts his fire on me, so I turn out of the way immediately. Don't want that. One of my engines get hit, and I do have a little bit of a smoke trail, but that's life. Now here I got myself in a situation that's not too good. I lost my altitude trying to get that cannon saber that's still flying here underneath me there. And in doing that, I am not the highest plane anymore, but a lot of planes dived here. That's my luck in this situation. And I can dive on one of them and see if we can shoot one down. Get a hit in on the MiG-15 here. And we are closing the distance. We do have more energy than him. Get a crit. And we finally do get him. And that's nice. And I do decide to turn off here, as I'm not the highest plane anymore. And there are several people higher than me. And this plane doesn't do good as a turn fighter on the deck. So what I wanted to do was extend away a little bit, climb, get some altitude back, and then move back in the battlefield and try to get into the role of boom and zoomer energy fighter. But yeah, from 800 kilometers on the deck, with this plane you're not going to do too well. So the targets of that my allies present to the enemy pull them down, which is a good thing for me, as I have almost reached 3000 kilometers here and I'm starting to dive again on them. A German MiG-15 Biz and a MiG-15 chasing a MiG-17 here. I pick one and go after him. Miss my shot, not enough lead. I do get a hit in though. I do get a crit on this guy as I change targets halfway through. Do turn nicely with him here and I get the kill. Now we are again extending away from the furball, as I am slow with less than 800 kilometers of speed. So again, I want to take this thing into the vertical, get some altitude back and see if I can regain my position as the highest jet. Now we have 5 planes, 5 targets here underneath us. I'm gonna dive in here, see what we can do. This may present the easiest target, the Cockawhoop. He gets shot down before I can get my shots on target. MiG-9 here, coming straight in front of my guns. See if we can get him. He's maneuvering nicely though, not an easy shot this way. And as he crosses our guns, we shoot him down here. LA-15 coming in, we pull over him, avoiding his guns. And again trying to get some altitude back. There is a MiG-15 there fighting one of our MiG-17s. But with our current speed we can't reach that altitude where they're fighting on. I've only got 600 and the MiG-17 makes short work of the MiG-15. Got an Arado high up and an ME-163. As we're coming back. Now that we have regained some altitude and we're seeing a lot of planes on the deck, we can safely make our return and see if we can make another approach. There's a saber here. I don't know if it's a cannon saber from this distance. Let's see as we come close. No, it's a 25. He's now coming into our range. Get a hit. And we get him. That's nice. And again, we lost our altitude. A lot of people above us. We're getting close to the enemy spawn. This is not a good situation to be in. I decide to turn off. Get back. Maybe get that LA-15 while we're at it. But I get shot down before I get that opportunity. Unfortunately, I'll see you in the conclusion. Hey guys, so here we are after the match. Now looking at this plane realistically, after flying it a little bit in arcade, we can say that it is far from the best plane. Most of the top jets can easily kill this plane in a 1-in-1 situation. But how often do you get in a 1-in-1 situation? Most of the time it is possible in arcade to work from the sides, try to boom and zoom, get to altitude, side climbing, and from there work your way down. And once you get the high altitude with this plane uncontended, or you win it by fighting, and you can start boom and zooming, this plane has a lot of pros to that approach, because it has a fantastic dive speed and acceleration. It has a great energy retention once you get out of the dive and start zooming out again. And it needs that because there's a lot of good climbers out there. You know, top jets like the MiG-17 and the MiG-15 bis. Stuff like that will, when they respawn, they will have an edge on you in climb rate. But because of your energy retention, you can retain the altitude advantage once you have it. As you have seen, it is quite possible to boom and zoom with it in that situation, with MiG-15s flying around and all that stuff in arcade, no problem. So you definitely gotta use this plane in the vertical and be disciplined at it. You don't want to start turning. You saw me do that once and I died as a consequence. So you are quickly punished if you step out of the strings of this plane. But if you are disciplined and you fly it like it should be flown, this plane can still do a great job for you and can be a lot of fun. Hey, so I hope you enjoyed the video, that you learned something there. If you are already a subscriber, don't forget to like the video. You know, those likes really make a difference. Do leave me a comment. You know, I always look forward to the comments every day. And if you really feel like helping out today, make sure to share the video with your friends and let them know about the channel. If you're new here, make sure to hit the subscribe button, become part of this community. I really love to have you aboard, and don't feel shy to leave me some comments. I always try to respond to them. So again, I want to thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.